Glad to have you back now. The NGX all-share index inched up by 0.15% to close at 52,917.47 basis points against the 1.99% gain recorded at the end of the previous trading section. In Naira terms, the NGX market capitalization records 42.75 billion Naira gain. If you look at the year-to-date, currently stands at 23.88%. The total volume traded advanced by 2.07% to close at 426.02 million million units of shares valued at about 5.69 billion naira at the close of Thursday's trading section. Transcorp was the most traded stock by volume with 94.39 million units traded, while WAPCO was the most traded stock by value, which is put at 601.95 million. If you look at some of the sectors now, the sectoral performance was broadly positive as 11 NGX sector indices closed northward. 5 out of them closed downward, while 2 closed flat. Okay, let's quickly bring in our regular analyst on the show, Mr. Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to have you here again. The last time you were here, we were talking about the market, the nature of volatility in the market. Yes, we've seen a bit of sell-offs and buy interest in the market since the beginning of the week. But yesterday, the market was marginally up. And so what... it's responsible for this marginal increment, because we expect to see volume of increase, volume of trades, because of how impressive the market has become in recent time.
Yeah, actually, because the earnings are impressive, as you just said, we have seen a market running up to like 18 days up before slowing down. Now market slowing down, gaining marginally, as you just said, 0.15. It's not surprised. It's part of the market. Like I always say that in equity investment, there are market dynamics. And part of the dynamics that after markets are rally or you have made money in any stock, they are bound to be profit taking.
Yes.
What we are seeing in the market is just profit taking activities. And also, if you look at the chart, which are always giving you a pure indication that they are bound to be profit taking, in this chart, you can what we call waves in the technical analysis. Those waves is what will guide you as an investor or a trader, especially if you know what you are doing in the market. And that is why we're here to educate them. If you see, these are uptrend here. This is called wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. In this wave 5 now, I tell you that we call it wave 5 extension. And on the extension now, we are seeing already, a double top formed by the candlestick. Don't forget that the day before yesterday, the market broke out the 53,000 mark, tested around the 50,063. Yesterday, also broke out again this 53,000.
Almost hitting 53,000.
No, it broke it out yesterday again. It touched about 50,069. It tells you that this double top tells you that there is also what we call a resistance there. That the market is not trying to break, but that is a strong resistance for the market. There's about to be what we call pullback, because market is already on wave 5 extension. That tells you that at this period now, market is trying to find its level. That means profit taking or correction will come here. But that's not send panic to the market, because when you see double top on the you can see it here, you can see here and here. These are the same point that market hit for 2 days now before closing lower below the 53,000 mark yesterday. But a breakout of this point will now usher in another rally. But as to speak now, since it's still here, and also if you see what we call the sentiment, it's already a missentiment in the market. The way I say missentiment in the market, we saw about 33% buy position and now saw 67% sell position. That means if you look at it, sellers are taking control of the market in terms of sentiment. They are taking profit already, and it's not surprising because market have rallied for almost 18 days. And I'll tell you, for month to date, market has rallied up to like 6 days. For me, it's a good one for the market, and profit taking is expected. And don't forget that yesterday, the life of MTN and Boa Cement, there was profit taking activity in that 2 stocks, and these are major also stock that influence the index. When the 2 profit from MTN and Boa Food, that was slow the market down, because in the midday yesterday, market's already doing about 0.41%. Finally, it closed at 0.15. It tells you that investors are cashing out their profits.
Investors are really cashing out their profit. But let's look at the yesterday. We saw that the shares of Transcorp was the most traded, stock by volume, with about 94.39 million units traded. What do you think drove this market up with the volume, the kind of volume we're seeing here?
No, like I always say that stocks feed on what? On earnings, either on the short term or on the long run. Earnings really influence price of equity. Now, when Transcorp released their Q1 number, the market said that this number was impressive. They had to treat that stock, appreciate that performance of the company. That's why you see the price rally. Then also, when a company anywhere also posts a number that is negative, market will also treat you that way. That means for investors seeing value in Transcorp, it's not that it's selling for around or below 130 kobo, having that such an impressive performance for Q1, they are also saying that at the end of the year, we're going to see a better number. Yes, they just grew their dividend marginally from 1 kobo to 2 kobo, which investor reacted when they released that result. But seeing the Q1 shows that where the company is going, and also don't forget that in a inflationary environment, utility companies are where investors look at, because no matter how you increase your cost, though you pass it to consumer.
Right. And
this company is into energy, and you know what it is, increasing of energy tariff here and there in this country. What they are creating, they are going to make more money for that. We expect the company to perform well. But only that, because of the nature of their business, most times this company don't have cash to play. Well, they are making money. But not say they cash with them, but it's a good thing that they're into a sector that is essential. Utility, nobody wants to joke with power, because without power, there's no productivity.
But although the sector is still facing a bit of reform challenges here, whether to go back to old way of reforms, I mean, it's the discussions are still ongoing, given the fact that they have also created a website where people can also begin to send in their comment and all of that. But there's a bit of, yes.
But, no matter what happened, this is, if there's adjustment, anything, because it's a utility that is a product, the activities or their service is what we need. And I tell you, whether there's no regulation under it, will be in favor of this company, because they are the one generation light, and it's what they say you should pay, you will pay. The only that,
Let's also look at at some of the earnings we are seeing in the market. We saw Julius Berger Nigeria declare its first quarter results into the market with about 3.73 billion profit after tax in the first quarter. That's about, and if you see like the selling price at 30 naira, that's very impressive. Revenue grew by 49.5% to 106.45 billion from 71.2 billion. How impressive is this one? Profit before tax is standing at 5.47 billion. But of course, if you look at Julius Berger, there's been, I think there's a bit of, slow growth in the construction sector. But then, except with few of those companies who are benefiting, look at the Ibadan Expressway, some infrastructure across the Niger Delta, and in the Niger, the third Niger Bridge is still there. So this is a whole lot of activities that is ongoing. But again, what do you think drove this report? I'm just trying to, wrap my head around what exactly drove this report.
You said it all, that, when there's infrastructural gap, this kind of company will enjoy, because one, you want to bridge the gap. Both the government at the central, at the local government, at the federal, they want to just make sure that they give the people infrastructure that will drive the economy. Because without infrastructure, you can't drive the economy. Because this is a way to move the economy to the next level. For me, the government at this 3 tiers of government are also investing heavily in infrastructure. And that's why I see, also look at the private sector developing estate here and there. And here. Most of them also are using these big companies to do that. For that, and don't forget that as far as construction, talk like what we call Julius Berger, WAPCO, Dangote, Boasman. These, I put them together because they are into construction. And as far as we're having no gap, like, don't forget that I said it last week here, that the federal government has said that they want to close the gap of the housing deficit we're having in Nigeria. Right. Is it by mouth? Those activities of this continue. And also, I said something again that is very important that I want to know. This being pre-election year, most of all these politicians, if you want to go and approach your people, you need to show them what you have done before you come back to say, I need your vote. And most of their roads, or most of the where they are abandoned projects, or where you have not paid before and the contractor stops somewhere, especially if the worker is part of them that stops somewhere, before you to mobilize them to site, you need to pay money. That means we expect that between now and the end of the year, we'll see a lot of activities that, because you want to control the road, say, okay, yes, this is what I did for 4 years, give another opportunity. That means we expect that to also impact the activities of Julius Berger, because there will be construction between.
At the point, I think some of these companies were being owed. Yes, at the point, there were reports that they were being owed some of the outstanding money or what they were supposed to pay were not paid or remitted on time.
Just like you just say, this is the time for them to pay them. Because if you really want us
to, election is around,
if you want us to finish our job, you need to pay us. And not only that, the good thing again, the company in Julius Berger is not looking one with that diversifying. They are going to oil, they are going to agriculture. No, these are what's going to impact their bottom at the end of the day. That means, since I said investment is against the future, against tomorrow, if you are thinking as an investor, this kind of company that is diversifying a source of revenue, you need to have what we call commodity-backed activities.
Yes.
When you have commodity-backed activities, your earnings is bound to be robust, and that also influence what your cash flow positively. And that is what is happening in Airtel and others, because we are seeing that their cash flow is becoming strong and better. Just
a quick one. The share price currently stands at 30 naira.
Yeah.
So how strong is that fundamentally, if you look at, of course, with how much they've made in the first quarter, and of course with the selling price?
There is a great improvement in their performance, and that is going to support the price. This is a company that declared 2 naira 50 kobo for 2021 financial year as dividend, and they say it's selling for 30 naira. That is about 8% dividend yield above the money market rate. Even though you are taking dividend low, you are already making money, and also capital appreciation is there. And we expect that the way it's going this year, we expect a better dividend. And these are what I see that investors should look at, because their services is essential. I think it's essential, and as far as we're having virtual gap, this is where the government at all levels will be looking at, because the quality of their job also speak for them. For that, they will always be interested in engaging Julius Berger. Don't forget that many state governments in Nigeria have signed one contract on the other with this company, because they know the kind of quality of job they deliver. For me, it's a plus for Julius Berger. That means any designer investor that is thinking future should think the way of Julius Berger.
You mentioned WAPCO while you were talking, analyzing the result of Julius Berger. I mean, the most traded stock by value, which is put at 1.95 million yesterday. I mean, this is the result we're getting. And so what do you think is driving this particular, stock? I mean, that's if you look at how much the trend that the stock has recorded in recent time.
For WAPCO? For me, WAPCO is a stock that, for me now is the investors' toast, as to speak. Why? It's a company that you see that the stock is undervalued. And what I always tell people that attend to my training, that once you see a company that is undervalued, you see the price going up, you see earnings going up, you see volume going up, you tell that something is happening in that kind of stock. And that is where you should also look the way, especially if that stock is undervalued. Also, technically, the chart is looking positive. That is where you should be, and that is what's happening to WAPCO as we speak. The earnings is looking up, because the first quarter results released, I will tell you, the earnings is the best compared to what we are seeing in the life of Boasman. This is the same industry. WAPCO posted about 1.9 kobo earning per share for Q1, and BUA posted about 98 kobo Q1, and BUA is selling around 74-75 naira per share. While WAPCO that posted 1 naira 9 kobo is selling then below 25 naira. Market appreciated that, this company is grossly undervalued, and earnings is looking up, price is looking up gradually. It moves to 26 to 27. That interest is what we are taking. And also, I said earlier that they've started paying into dividend in the last financial year. If that is sustained in 2022, it's going to be a plus for investors. And I tell you that when you are investing, time and date is very important. You need to time your position, use date and other information you have, and to take position. I can see that the designer investor are looking that, second quarter of this result will be in the market around July. It's better to enter now, because around that July, and they also produce similar impressive number. The price of WAPCO is also likely to go higher, because if others are selling at 17 naira, the earnings is better. They pay the dividend, or final dividend of 2 naira in 2020. For me, it's a good one.
Let's quickly go through some of the numbers. Top 5 gainers for yesterday. Fixing it's in that category. China here, you have GlaxoSmithKline in that category, and WAPCO as well, with the stock of WAPCO gaining at 9.86% to close at 295 kobo. You also have GlaxoSmithKline with about 75 kobo gain there. China Oil with about 65 gain there. Fixing, you know, was able to add up with around 1 naira 3 kobo at the close of yesterday. On the flip side, you have Academy Press there. You also have Linkage Assurance with Verist Capital in that category. These are some of the figures we're having here. So give us your take and perspective of some of these stocks.
Just like you said, for Fixing to be selling almost 11 naira 38 kobo yesterday, for me, it's a good one. Tell you that investor sentiment for that stock is positive. And if you remember, I said that every investment is against the future. When during the time of COVID-19, you saw that the central government, Central Bank of Nigeria, and the federal government have interest in healthcare sector, and they were putting a lot of incentives.
I think there was some palliative measures for them.
The intervention fund was given to make sure that they produce some things here in Nigeria, to make sure that for me that trend has continued, and that has changed the face of the operation in that industry or that sector. And going into also the post-COVID-19 era, we are seeing that consistent performance has also been sustained in that sector. And recently, the government of Nigeria and that of Cuba has also signed an agreement to start producing vaccine. And don't forget also, before now, about 5 years ago, federal government also signed a kind of vaccine production for polio with me and Baker. Now coming back in to start production of vaccine in industry, it's going to rub on all these components in that sector. And as we speak now, the two companies I know that they have the capacity to go into vaccine production. One is Fixing, me and Baker. Also GSK. Whatever happened in these three bank companies is going to trickle down to affect this one, Nimet and Pharmadeco. If this is sustained, for me, it's a good one. For me, seeing Fixing at the top as I yesterday, I'm not surprised, because we're seeing that there's positive sentiment, and also the number that are emanating from Fixing has been touch not have been an impressive number. For that, investors are also appreciating them with that performance. If that trend is sustained, this is a company also that grew his dividend with almost more than 120%, from around 25 or 24 to almost 50 kobo the previous year. And we see that earnings for this Q1 has surpassed that of the previous one. It tells you that it's a good company that people are in. And also, there's a bonus of 1 for 10 investors are also expecting. These are the factors that are driving Fixing. Not only that, Fixing has all it takes fundamentally, and the chart for Fixing is not looking badly for investors. But
okay, like you want to show us? Yes, okay.
For investors, I would advise that don't be greedy. That's what I would tell you, so that when you have made money in Fixing, you don't need to relax. You can see that the chart of Fixing is very, very positive. We can see this strong bullish candle here, very full one. Tells you that this stock is going somewhere, and it's also trading above the T line. I mean, when I mean T line, above the 8 days moving average exponential, which is good for investor, and this is a new height that is hitting. For me, it's a good one. Okay. But don't be carried away with rally. Once to those that enter the stock around 6 naira, 8 naira, you have made almost 100% while waiting, but you still have potential to go up. But just learn how to take your profit gradually as a trader or investor. But as a stock that you make money, you can just cash out. But for Fixing, I say that it's fundamental to support the price of Fixing going to the future.
It's almost 1 hour, 30 minutes into today's trading already, and the market is doing around 0.1% already. I mean, so give us your outlook today. With these numbers we are seeing, market doing about 0.1% already. It means that we are likely to see the same trend, positive trend, being sustained today.
Yeah, actually, being the last reading of the week, I expect a mixed trend, because profit taking will surface today again. I said yesterday that yes, market had a positive breadth, but in terms of sentiment, we'll see more of what sellers than what buyers. Because we had about the 33% buying position and 67 or what sell position. That tells you that we're having more sellers at the market. But this morning, because today is the last trading day of the week, market is just about 53 minutes off for this morning. I expect that profit taking will also come, being the last trading of the day. After market have gained for a straight 1 week again, that will show. But like always tell investor, our eyes are on what? On the consumer price index on Monday, from Bureau of Statistics. Also looking forward to see the Q1 GDP for
Right.
2021. These are what will also influence investors' decision. Once all these macroeconomic data start hitting the investors or hitting the investing public, that will also inform their decision.
Well, I think we need to leave it there. Thank you so much, Ambrose Omodian. We appreciate your time. Ambrose Omodian, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited. Thank you for coming on Business Breakfast.
Thanks for having me.